Welcome back to the Unbiased Opinion, where everyone's opinion is biased except ours. I believe this is our 14th episode, and we got a little treat today. We recently saw some really bad movies together, and we thought we would share it. The first one we're going to get to is called Expelled. And does somebody want to, give a log line, describe in a sentence or so what the movie's about? Anyone?
I think Craig should
I'd
go
rather
since
not.
this is his favorite movie of all time.
All right, Craig, then you're up.
I guess I am. So Expelled is about some future lifelong criminal, how he gets expelled from school, thinks it's the coolest thing in the world, and then realizes he has to get back into school because his parents will find out and get mad at him, and that's it. It's not good.
You forgot the part where, in
Well,
quotations,
I'm summarizing.
yeah, no, hilarity ensues, you have to say at the end. But
Hilarity ensues.
yeah, oh boy. This one is pretty rough. I saw this in 2018 on some website, and even then I was cringing a lot during it. It's like
Of
a
course, you have to punish us and make us watch it.
yes, yes. And it's a knockoff Ferris Bueller, but the guy, his name is Felix. He's played by this fella named Cameron Dallas, who, by the way, I don't mean to rip on anybody, but he has no acting chops or charisma. So when he delivers a line, it is so flat, and he just seems like he doesn't want to be there. And if I was him too, I wouldn't want to be there filming it.
You see, I was looking apparently behind the scenes. He was some famous Vine star. If people still remember
Ah,
Vine.
fine.
So I guess they were trying to make a bad movie, but oh look, we got your favorite Vine star in it. Therefore, you're gonna watch it.
And there's a couple of Vine stars. The guy who plays the older brother was a Vine star too.
I
And
guess that
the
makes sense why they're
the
both
the main
degenerates.
love interest was on the Fine brothers. Those guys who would do the React videos before their channel died.
Yeah, I was to say they're still around.
Yeah, but when they were popular, like I don't know, like 10 years ago, they had the love interest of this movie was from there. So
And I just want to clarify, the love interest is the pizza girl. We'll get to her in a bit, but like it's the pizza girl, right?
yeah, yeah, the pizza girl. Uh, how do you want to talk about Felix as a character, or should we do like a better synopsis? What are we feeling?
Well, I guess start with Felix because the movie is all about him and he is just awful. I I guess they don't know how to write a good character because you want him to suffer. You want to see him get caught. You want to see him like thrown in jail. You're happy he gets expelled, even though he thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. He calls it like an early retirement.
Yeah, he is a scumbag. There's no other way of putting it. It's like
Such a degenerate.
he's so short sighted where he thinks like, oh, I'm so cool doing these wacky pranks. Like it's like, no, you're a loser.
Yeah, he gets expelled from high school. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm so cool. That's how he gets the pizza girl. It's like, yeah, I'm expelled from high school. And she's like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, she's like, I recognized you for your work of the koala bear sanctuary or something so stupid like that. It's like this guy has no long term goals. He's like, oh yeah, I'm expelled. This is so cool.
Well, you can't forget that his inspiration comes from his brother who was sent away to like some military school.
It looks like a prison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the beginning they're talking about like how his older brother got like a 1.7 GPA. It's like, how do you even obtain that?
In the era of No Child Left Behind, how's that even possible?
Yeah, I was gonna say high school. They basically like almost force you to pass. It's not college where they don't care if you don't.
Yeah, really.
Like, you really gotta try for that.
Just as we already said earlier, like he's just so uncharismatic, and Felix at least, he delivers every line so dry. And then the thing that upsets me the most is that every time he thinks he says something cool, he like winks into the camera to let the audience think like, oh yeah, what he's doing or what he's saying is cool. It's like, no, you're still a loser.
Well, say because that's like the inspiration. So obviously Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he would talk to the camera, but in that movie he didn't come off as like malicious. It came more off as like I guess more childish and a little more innocent. Like he just wanted to skip school for a day and have fun, not being stuck in school. This kid's like out to ruin people, like out to like hurt other people.
Like he commits so many crimes in this movie too. The whole crux at the end. I guess should we talk about the plot then? I guess quickly, so if we
Yeah,
spoil the end.
No one's gonna see it, but
All right, yeah, that's very fair. Dan, do you want to talk about the plot quickly?
I think you should,
I'm
since
gonna talk.
you absolutely love this
I'm
movie.
gonna talk about iGirlfriend. I know that one pretty well. Our next movie, so I think you can get this one.
So the plot, he's trying to get expelled from school, which he eventually does get out of it, but then he realizes because his parents think he's doing great in school for some odd reason. Um,
was it like he
then
was
when he
forging grades, right?
Say again.
what?
No, wasn't he trying to forge grades? That's why his parents thought he was doing well.
Yeah, he gives
Yeah,
himself all A's, and then they're like, but then
and of course he has like the goody two shoes friend who obviously is a professional hacker because he just types really fast on the computer.
yeah, they
Yeah,
hack
super
into like
elite
this.
hacking.
They hack into the school to change the grades.
And
Uh,
then he gets his like ex girlfriend to try to help him, and she's like the most reasonable person. It's just she's like the voice of the audience, like, no, you're a loser, and I hope you fail.
yeah, like you're not working for anything hard in your life. You deserve to fail.
Yeah. But of course, like since it's a Ferris Bueller knockoff, the principal has it out for him, rightly so. Um, but so his way, he's trying to not go to school, but also maintain the outlook. Trying to forge his grades. So his parents think he still is in school. Um, Obviously, hacking into the system backfires on him and his good-hearted friend, who he just kind of bullies and manipulates into helping him the whole time. And in the process of that, when he finally is gets expelled, um, I think you should explain the plot more, Colin. I don't. I'm trying to like piece together
Well, you're
everything.
missing little details. That the first
Yeah.
obstacle our hero faces is that okay, I have to get to the report card's supposed to come out, but since I got expelled, everything's going to be an F. So I have to forge it. So he goes to his ex girlfriend, which by the way, like when he was explaining how they broke up, he was like climbing. He admitted that he was about to steal some laptops from the library, and he's crawling through the tunnel of like the ventilation system, and he falls into the women's bathroom. Well, this poor woman's in the like, this poor girl's in the bathroom, and then they call him like a peeping tom or whatever. But oh god, where was I? Oh yeah, he has to forge the report cards. So his ex girlfriend does give him the report cards, but she gives him like all Fs because she says that those are the grades you deserve. You got expelled, whatever. And then, if memory serves correctly, he has to like fake a parent teacher conference because then he gets the all A's back. Because then he goes to his buddy to get the report cards, all A's. His parents are like, oh, your history teacher, whatever, said you were failing. We're gonna have a parent teacher conference. So then he has to fake that, and then that's when he almost gets ratted out. But at the end, he ends up blackmailing his teacher to re-enroll him into the school, and it's a happy ending.
Well, also to say like why he was able to blackmail the professor or the professor, the principal, because the principal was illegally
Oh
using
yeah,
the
how could I
school's
forget
funds
that?
to
Oh
gamble
yeah.
on a gambling website and he kept losing money, I think.
Yeah, he was losing like $10,000.
Yeah, yeah, the thing was, he was directly siphoning it out of the school fund. It wasn't even like under another account or anything. It was directly from the school
Yeah,
fund.
his name is Mr. Truman. The username was like literally H Truman or something.
As I said, we can't forget how his brother escaped,
Oh yeah, he
and he like, uh,
he put himself in a big wooden box and shipped himself back to the house.
he literally like escaped a prison. Where was the school? Like up in like Montana or like Wyoming?
I think it was Montana.
Like, I know it was like in the mountains or something. It was isolated.
Yeah,
Not that it matters.
yeah, and his brother
Felix
was
is.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
you go, you go, you go.
I was gonna say his brother. I don't know who was worse, him or his brother. They both were like insufferable together. It was just horrible.
His brother was like a cartoon character, and like not in a
Oh,
good
yeah.
way. Like he was just so he everything was exaggerated with him. Like his speech, the way he moved, the way he acted was just like out of a Nickelodeon cartoon.
I think
It's
the
probably
worst scene with his brother was when he got arrested for breaking in the one night with his friend, and they're trying to steal, like, get into the principal's laptop, and he got caught. And then his brother faked to be his dad, and I guess they're trying to like copy off the Ferris Bueller, like when Ferris Bueller pretended to be his girlfriend's dad and picked her up. And like, but he picked him up from the police station, and he was just so creepy as the dad. And he was like eating. I forget what he was eating, but it was something
Having like
like,
a cupcake, a chocolate cupcake.
yeah, and he was eating it like a perv. Like if I was the cop, I'd be like, "Are you sure you want to go home with this guy?"
Son, it's
blink twice
okay.
if he's your father.
Yeah, and then they're like, he looks up to his brother, like, they're literally both like, think about how cool they are, and like, or like when they tried to fake the parent teacher conference, and like he tried to hire like
The
the
janitor.
janitor
Yeah.
to be the teacher, and then the janitor showed up to the house, and his brother, because his brother's staying up in the attic, Felix like forced the janitor to go up there and change. And his brother didn't know, so he like knocked him out, and then like his brother like tries to show up to like shoot the principal with like a blow dart, or the teacher with a blow dart gun, and he was like carrying like armor or something like that,
He
and
had
then he
like
like got
hockey
himself,
pads.
yeah, and then he had a net for some reason, got himself tangled up in it, like literally like what you said, being a cartoon character. That was the perfect description, but it was like insufferable to watch.
I want to say because I feel like they're cartoon characters because they were from Vine and social media, so like those kinds of people are always like over exaggerating and people like them because they can yell and make funny faces. So it's probably just they were like, oh yeah, do that, do what you did in the Vine, do what you did in the YouTubes and whatever.
Yeah, you're
'Cause
probably
obviously they
right,
can't act.
honestly.
Except that only works on Vine because Vine was 6 seconds long, so it was short,
Yeah,
so
not
you
like
could do that.
an 80-minute movie where it's.
I guess that's why their acting was so insufferable. When they had to be on camera for more than 6 seconds, it showed.
I mean, the guy who played the brother, he was just like a over eccentric weird loser, and then Felix was just this devoid of charisma loser. Where like it was like one was the opposite end of being eccentric, and the other guy was just boring and dry. There was no balance. And then they have the pizza girl who they literally just throw in there for no reason other than, oh yeah, Ferris Bueller had a love interest. Let's make Felix have one.
It's also too like she's like thinks it's cool that he is expelled from high school. And like she's like, "Oh, you're cool. You're expelled from high school.
It's like,
You
no,
have so
you're
many
not
career
cool.
opportunities." It's like it's quite like how do you get expelled from high school? Like
Well, you see, Craig, he did too many wacky pranks. That's why he was expelled.
it's just like just the dumbest of things. And they try to act like it's cool.
Like, does he realize in real life, like, after the summer when everyone goes to college, everyone's just gonna forget about him?
No,
And no
they're
one
not. They're
cares
gonna
about
remember
that.
his pranks. And the thing that's so weird is that, like we talked earlier, Ferris Bueller was innocent in the sense that he wasn't really going out of his way to screw anyone over, or at least intentionally cause harm and be malicious. Like Felix is 100% malicious with every intent he has. He manipulates people. He breaks the law. He's just a
Yeah, like,
terrible human being.
Like
and the
didn't he just
difference,
like
yeah,
blackmailing his friend or something?
Yeah, and
Like
he
the hacker
lies to
thing.
everybody.
I
Like how
want
does
to say
he have any friends?
he literally like screwed up the high school play that his ex girlfriend was starring in, like just because.
Yeah,
Or
he's
then,
just he's a scumbag.
but and like a main difference also, like with Ferris Bueller, like because the principal obviously had it out for Ferris Bueller, but like the movie had it in a way where you were rooting for Ferris, and you hated the principal. Like this one, it was like The principal obviously is a scumbag for siphoning thousands of dollars to feed an online poker addiction. But like, but Felix, like, he was antagonizing the principal the whole time too. So it's like both are just scumbags.
Yeah,
It's
like,
just Ferris Bueller, at least, like he was just trying to skip school, but the principal really had it out for him.
well, correct me if I'm wrong, Ferris Bueller. Didn't the principal just want to make an example out of him? He just wanted to catch him because he said like he doesn't want other Ferris Bueller disciples, running
Other
amok.
slackers.
Yeah, he just
Did he
wanted
say
to catch Ferris and make an example of him.
did he say slacker or was that Back to the
That's Back
Future?
to the Future.
Oh, never mind.
He went over the top
Yeah, I
trying to
mean,
break into Ferris's house.
yeah, but just
I was
like
gonna
this
say
principal has every reason to, be annoyed with this guy because he's like hacking vending machines and like taking over basketball scoreboard displays. He's just a loser. Like, what are you doing?
oh yeah, and he's like changing his grades and like faking parent like everything he does is just awful. Like you wonder why the principal's out to get him because he's right to be out to get him.
The principal is a flawed character, as we say.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, I mean, obviously it's not a good movie. The main character is awful, but like even the ending where everything gets wrapped up so neatly because the principal just conveniently has like a gambling addiction.
Imagine if he didn't. He was just working late, and then he just breaks into the office.
He tries to steal his laptop or something. Or what were they breaking in again? That doesn't matter.
They were trying to break in so they could directly change the grades and then print them out. And then they also bugged his laptop. That's how they were able to see what he was doing later on.
It's also illegal.
Yeah. How many crimes did he commit? He committed a
Should he
whole
we should have
lot.
kept the count.
Forgery,
Like bugging someone's computer, like
breaking and entering.
Invasion of privacy when he fell through into the girl's bathroom.
Yeah, and he pointed at her thinking he was slick, but she was in the bathroom. Like, what a creep. I think we're also missing. Remember that there was a side plot where the one girl named Stacy, she was running like an anti-bully campaign, but then there's this other entity online on Twitter called Roxy who would like ruin people's social lives. But Stacy was controlling Roxy with all the bullying.
Oh yeah.
God, didn't he like they ousted her and then she lost the whatever she was running for?
Yeah,
He
they
doxed
posted
her.
they posted her IP address.
Wait, didn't he do that so his ex would win the election or something like that? So she would
Yeah,
help him.
yeah. They bargained. They're like, all right, I'll help you win the election if you give me straight A's or whatever. If he was smart, he wouldn't have given himself straight A's. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least be precise with it and throw in a
Try
bunch
to be
of B's.
believable. Yeah.
Yeah,
And of course his parents are like they're like stupid oblivious.
they're like frothing from the mouth, like a bunch of wild animals. Like, where's your report card, Felix? I just want to see it. I'm getting anxious about your report card.
Like I feel like most parents are like, yeah, I'm doing good in school. I get A's and B's. Oh, good, and they just move on with their day.
And you're expecting
I
them to
mean,
like hold him up. Where's your report card, Felix?
Well, the
I mean,
dad, of
wasn't
course, was like, just reading a newspaper the whole time. Like, okay. It
Yeah.
was his mom who was like so adamant.
I was gonna say this movie came out around the time like I remember online like your grades were constantly posted online.
2014. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like oh yeah, like, people kept posting their grades online. People could check it all the time. I mean, obviously the movie's not going to check that, but I'm pretty sure
They
a
had
school in
that.
California would have that.
Yeah, they had that at least when we were even in like middle school or elementary school. They had that.
Well, not elementary, but definitely middle school.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's even, but that's like, reaching 2010 over here, but still,
Plot hole.
hey,
Yeah.
he's a wacky character.
And the worst part is like there was no moments like Colin, like you said, it's just so cringy. Like there's no moments where you could just like sit back and enjoy it for how bad it is. It's just bad and you're like miserable watching it.
Yeah, it's not even. It's not even funny. Even ironically funny in any way throughout the whole duration of the film. I mean, we're only laughing because of how cringe some things were and how I don't know how cool they're trying to make Felix. Even though, like we said countless times, he's a loser. Getting expelled from high school isn't cool. It just shows you have no direction in life. Especially over pranks. Like that is the dumbest thing you could get expelled for.
I know too we're not the target audience. I know it's meant more for like high schoolers to like middle schoolers to, you know, basically like preteen and under. But even then, I can't imagine pe those kinds of kids watching this movie would be like, "Oh yeah, that kid's so cool. He got expelled from school." Like even then, I know kids have to realize getting expelled from school is like a bad thing. Like it's a like you're a loser when that happens. Like it's not something to celebrate.
I can't help but like this movie feels like a weird power fantasy where they're like, oh yeah, getting expelled is cool because he's a prankster and he has a shirt that says Hall Pass and he wears sunglasses inside.
What a tool.
Yeah, this movie's bad. Don't waste your time on it. We did, unfortunately.
He forced us.
Yeah, Daniel, I think you've seen it 2 times, right?
I did. I had
Yeah,
the absolute misfortune of seeing it 2 times.
yeah. This movie's part of Awesomeness TV, which is like this cringy YouTube thing where they try to make hip shows and whatnot, and it's just not really good.
Well, that at least makes more sense now why it's like obviously you to make it hip, you put in like a Vine star. I don't know. I guess if he's famous for like making dumb faces and being a jerk, I guess they tried to capture that in the movie.
I'm
That's
surprised.
really what he's famous for.
I'm surprised they didn't try to get one of the Paul brothers. Honestly, when this
Was this
movie
before
came out,
them? Where they got famous?
I assume weren't they both Vine people?
I don't know. I don't know what
I
those
don't know.
degenerates
So
do.
many of those. They keep like coming out with new stuff. They probably. I think. I don't think. No, wasn't probably around this time. Wasn't the younger one on like Disney? Isn't that how he started out?
Who cares?
I don't keep track of these degenerates.
You just see in the background, Jake Paul running around. I got your hat. I got your hat.
I got your sunglasses, Felix. I
He
got your
just goes.
report card.
After Helix hanged himself.
Oh man. Any
Wait,
final
was that the one?
thoughts?
Was that the one who walked into the suicide
Nah, nah,
forest?
nah.
Was the other one?
YouTube's algorithm. We probably shouldn't, mention that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, final thoughts. Final thoughts before we jump into the next film.
I feel like if
Oh,
you capture a terrorist, it'd be a good idea to show them this movie because it might break them.
oh my god. No, I think the next movie we're going to talk about is a lot worse than this one.
Well, like this again, if you want to break somebody, you try to like show them this movie, then you show my girlfriend, and they'll be like screaming, we'll give you anything you want, just let us go.
Like Clockwork Orange style. You like strap them to a chair and then like open their eyes so they can't close them.
You will watch Expelled.
You will laugh at Felix and his endeavors.
He's
You will sympathize with them.
cool.
Laugh at him. He has a shirt that says Hall Pass. Laugh.
He winked at the camera. That's cool.
He manipulates his best friends. That's cool.
He's a loser.
All right, should we get into iGirlfriend then?
We have to.
Fair enough. Okay, our next movie is Girlfriend. And boy, is this one rough to watch. I am ashamed to say that I've seen it at least 3 times. And any beginning thoughts, boys, before I break down the movie and whatnot?
Don't watch
I,
it.
I thought this one was a bit better than Expelled though.
Really?
Yeah. At
Honestly, I
least
kind of agree too.
I
Really?
think I think there were moments where you could laugh at it ironically, and also the ending was just insane.
Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree.
I mean, these for me, just quickly, I hated Felix so much I couldn't enjoy anything. This at least kind of, you almost wasn't as awful. If that
Uh,
makes any sense.
all
Because
right.
you
Yeah,
don't hate the main character.
yeah. I was gonna say his friend,
They are
that's a different
they're
story.
very creepy. Let me just say
Oh, that's without a
But
doubt. But I mean,
oh
I
yeah,
feel
one
like
hundred
being
percent.
creepy isn't, a crime.
that.
Although they get borderline criminal.
Okay, so I guess let's kick off the plot. We have two main heroes named Simon and Peg. Haha, get it? It's supposed to be the actor Simon Pegg. Uh, the main guy
Wait,
Simon. He
could you explain that? I don't get it.
yeah, whatever. The main guy Simon. He gets kicked out of his computer club or whatever, computer AV club. And his friend Peg, who I don't mean to rip on anyone's appearances, but he just looks like some creature crawled out of a bridge. Like he just. Anyway,
Jeez.
but he's like, this is terrible. We're rock bottom in the chain of high school, and he's like, we'll boost our popularity. Let's make fake girlfriends that text us to our phones. And at first Simon debates, he's like, this is creepy, but he does it anyway. They create fake apps that makes it look like they have girlfriends. And it's honestly like just watching that is the saddest thing I've ever seen in a movie where I just felt I just felt so bad because Felix is a different kind of loser. He does it to himself, but I don't know what to make of this when they do crazy stuff like that, making the apps. But as Peg is texting in class, his fake girlfriend, his love interest named Desiree sees that he's really nice with her. The fake girlfriend texting her. Those two, I guess, get together and whatnot. But then when Simon is trying to refine his app, he accidentally dumps some kind of Red Bull that is literally called like brings you to life on his computer, and it brings his fake girlfriend app to life. And it is at this point it just gets so creepy and it raises a lot of ethical questions. Anyone want to take over? Because I this, uh,
No, you said you wanted to do it. You're stuck with it.
oh
Well,
god.
I think also a big prop, like what makes these movies even worse, is that they're clearly both just knockoffs of 80 like classic 80 movies. Like the Expelled was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and this one was clearly Weird Science, just gone wrong.
No one wants to piggyback. It's still me.
Yeah,
Keep going.
you chose to take over.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Simon begins to hit it off with his fake girlfriend, but then the main bully, Bash, obtains his laptop somehow. I don't really want to get the nitty gritty of it. And he starts manipulating the controls of Lily, which is the computer's name or the app's name. And she goes haywire and she becomes borderline psycho. God. So then Simon Pegg, they run to a house and then she dies at the end. I don't want to talk about the plot. It's just making me someone. I hate this movie
Oh God.
How could you hate the ending with the party?
because it's
Of
so,
the best.
this is one of the most cringiest movies I've ever seen, and I will stand by that statement. Where
Oh no, we're not denying
no, I know, yeah, I
it's
know we're
cringy.
not, but it's just, oh god.
I can laugh at cringe, so I guess that's why I don't doesn't bother me as much.
Oh no, I
Like
can
maybe
too.
love Nathan for you.
No, I can laugh at cringe too. It's just like when it gets to this point where it just feels so pathetic with these characters and
And like the plot, like it's kind of like sad, like how their idea to get like attention is having like pretend girlfriends text them,
yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
but it's like, oh, my
Yeah.
girlfriend goes to another school kind of thing. Like people will catch on to that immediately and make fun of you for it. So why even
No,
bother doing
but
that?
you see, Simon, his app is so thorough that it photoshops already taken pictures and puts their fake girlfriend into them.
But they'll never. But the thing is, like, they'll never see her in person. Like, oh, why isn't your girlfriend here? Why do I never see your girlfriend in person?
But they'll see her on Facebook.
That's not good enough. It's still oh, she goes to another school. People did that back then. Like even before then, they could like find photos online, and pretend they date that person.
I think you're reading too much into it.
I'm just saying it's very pathetic what they were doing.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
No, I agree. It's just like the logistics. Like I can't. Like who would think that's a good idea? That's I guess the point I'm trying to get at.
And this movie has like every cliche possible, like, especially right off the beginning. The first lines are like, "Oh, I cannot believe you dragged me here," or something like that. Like that's how amateurs start their movies off, or when they write their scripts. That's how amateurs do it. Every bad movie, I guarantee you, especially one with such quality as iGirlfriend, starts off like that, or it starts on an alarm clock. I guarantee you.
No, no, you're right. You're right. Like I said, we're
Yeah.
not saying this is an Academy or whatever winner.
You did miss a key detail that Peg was
I'm
just
sure I
being
did.
he was being used by the popular girl so she could make the bully his name was Bash.
Yeah, make him jealous.
Yeah, make him jealous. It just no. Like Craig said, like Simon, you don't hate like what he does is completely like low life and creepy, but he at
Peg
least
takes it to another level.
he as himself isn't that bad. He's kind of just keeps to himself. He's all he's a nerd. He gets bullied. He just got kicked out of his club. His only friend is a loser, like a complete. But he the difference between him and Felix is like Simon you don't really care for. Like he's just there. Felix is just ugh. But Peg, on the other hand, I hated him.
I
He will
guess
probably get in trouble with the law for probably some kind of like assault in the future,
oh
creeping on
god.
people.
I guess we
Well, the
should talk
Yeah,
about
character.
the end where
yeah.
all the characters converge on a party where Bash, the main bully, has Simon's computer, and he's like exposing everybody that his girlfriend's fake. He's like showing all the sliders that manipulate the emotions, and then Simon and Peg show up to try to stop Bash from manipulating her emotions, and then Lily shows up, and she like gets a bottle, breaks it, and her and Bash like she tackles Bash, and basically they both fall into a trophy case, and they both get killed. They both die at the end.
And people were videotaping it.
Yeah, they lift open the trophy case, and you just see a trophy like stuck in the back of in their back. You just see like all blood everywhere.
Well, that was the one part where, like, at the end, like the one kid is like showing the video to someone else, and Peg is walking up, and he goes, "That's evidence, son."
Yeah, he deletes it.
I thought the funniest part was when Lily first shows up to like the party, and there's just some random guy who says something stupid. I forget what he did, but because she was like in like Terminator mode, she just turned and just straight up punched him right in the balls, and he just dropped. And then at the end, when like Simon, obviously the girl in the computer club, Simon got pushed out by like a jerk in the club, and then the girl she liked him, so they ended up getting together at the end. But the best is they're on the couch like kissing, and then the guy who got punched in the balls just sits down next to them and just starts icing his balls with a beer. But yeah, like I love how they like at the end they just get killed and everyone just keeps going on with their lives like that didn't happen.
Yeah, they're all like better off without Bash. Apparently,
Avoidance.
wasn't he killed in his own house?
Yeah, it was his party. That was like another like thing that was just like why did this guy go through such depths to expose these two bottom feeders in the school social chain?
What does he care?
Well, again, it's like that the '80s movie cliche, like the high school bully, relentlessly going after them for really no reason and no gain.
He's like trying to persecute them.
He was trying to get them to kill themselves or something.
God.
Like in the beginning, when they're outside the school, they see the lacrosse team. They're like, "Oh no, it's the lacrosse team! Hide!" They like run behind bushes.
I don't think anyone's ever said that. Like, oh no, it's the lacrosse team.
Yeah, like I've seen this movie 3 times, so I already, I would say I'm immune to the cringe, but I can handle it to an extent. But what makes this movie and Expelled, and why I like Expelled better is because at least Expelled has more production value and is better in at least quality wise and how it looks. This movie just seems like they just grabbed some old camera and grabbed a bunch of people off the streets and they're like, all right, let's make a movie. Here's $5. You know.
I mean, it's probably exactly what happened.
Oh, this is another thing. The movie's poster was the title card or the title screen for the movie. Like if you go on IMDb and it has that picture of a girl that says like she's virtually insane, that is the exact photo that shows up in the movie for the title sequence
It does.
yeah, for the title. And no movie does that. You don't use the poster as your title sequence.
Well, he paid for it, I guess. He made that he someone. I guess he has to use it.
I guess so.
Like, I paid for that photo, and I'm going to use it.
Yeah, the guy director's name's Scott Coons.
I just feel like we should talk about Peg more and how much of a creep he is.
Oh, by all means, you lead the way.
Well, I feel like you're the resident expert. I don't know if you want to say anything, but like, because he keeps like the whole movie, he was just like creep, like always like try like creeping with girls and stuff. And like I remember when he just got set the text messages set up, like he wanted the girl to like really attract him and send like such creepy stuff to him.
Oh yeah, because they got the phones. They got the phones swapped. So Simon was seeing all the weird stuff Peg wrote.
Wait, didn't they? Wait, didn't Peg say his girlfriend was like in college?
Yeah, they both were college girls.
And uh,
Yeah, he says some pretty weird stuff, and it just makes you think like, what does this guy do when he's alone with his thoughts?
I get it. Like if he was like a real person, he'd be a future criminal.
Him and
Like,
Felix, partners in
well,
crime.
well, for different crimes. Like Peg would probably be in jail for like creeping in like in a girl's locker room or something.
He's like watching a high school practice from the fences.
But he's 30. Like, sorry, there's the restraining order. You can't be like 100 yards of a school.
No, 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 no. That's another guy. That's not me. That's not me.
It's the other guy who wears the trench coat and has like orange hair.
And glasses. Yeah, it comes off as pathetic. The movie.
Another thing too I found creepy. I think like the main like how old are these actors? Because like wasn't the main guy Simon like in his underwear like an uncomfortable amount of time?
Yeah, he was. He was. I think. I think he was definitely in his 20s. I'd hope.
I hope. I mean,
I think he was. Honestly,
all right.
I know you were concerned, Craig.
Well, you hope so because like you don't like with Hollywood and stuff and these
Well,
people getting like
this isn't Hollywood though. This is.
well still like lots of B movies like they definitely exploit people. I mean, I don't think this one was really that bad, but like you start thinking a bit.
It doesn't have the guy's age though. I think he was like in his 20s or whatever.
He's legal.
I guess. Daniel, you have anything to say? We're awfully quiet over there.
No, no. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to say. That hasn't been said. Peg is just a creature of the night. But yeah, Simon. Yeah, Simon was just he was just awkward, like socially just awkward. I mean, like, what'd you think of like when he had like when the girlfriend just started going like haywire?
What do you mean?
Like when because those scenes because then it turned into like what is that one movie called with Kathy Bates where she's like obsessed with a guy and she like keeps him in her house.
What kind of
I
movies do you
forget that.
watch?
No, it's like it's a pretty like well known movie. I forget, but Yeah, I don't know. It just there isn't too much to say like that. Like the only saving grace for it for me was just the ending of the party because things just went so haywire so quick. I mean, everyone just act like nothing happened at the end. But like, I feel like up to that point, it was just, especially with like Simon was just like his whole plot with the girlfriend was just kind of like boring. But Peg was just, ugh. It was
Also, I
like,
guess not the I guess to the movie's credit, but I feel like what made iGirlfriend more entertaining was the fact that I guess it's easier to comment. Like when you're watching Expelled, it's really more just like how awful Felix. Well, this you can like make fun of like the cringe and stuff. And Colin, when we were watching it, you kept saying how like Peg's gonna become like a school shooter.
Well, I wasn't saying that for verbatim, but he
Well,
didn't give me serial killer vibes.
you're like the FBI agent trying to egg him on. So that thing, like all like I feel like watching with the crowd makes this one better. I guess if you're watching this by yourself, iGirlfriend's the harder one to watch. But I feel like with a group of people, there's more to make fun of and there's more to enjoy as a group. I feel
Yeah,
like
like
that's probably why
when he
I
was
enjoyed
just
it more.
like sitting in his room alone, just looked like he was about to film a confession tape. It's all white walls. I'm gonna tell you why I did it.
That's why I enjoy it more.
Yeah.
where, where were their parents this whole time?
Well, remember they said they were leaving, so that's how
Uh,
um what's his name? Simon was all alone with his computer app.
Typing away really fast. 'Cause that's what people do.
Yeah, and the poster says she's more kilobytes than he imagined. Get it?
oh God! Don't watch either of these movies.
Yeah, if we can't stress it enough. I mean, unless you want to like what Colin likes to torture us.
Yeah,
I can't help it.
if you're if unless you're sadistic, you like watching people's pain.
When Colin made me and my girlfriend watch The Predator just to torture us.
That was a great movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
God, that was awful. Like
Oh
honestly,
yeah,
I think I had more fun
does your
watching my girlfriend than.
does your girlfriend go to a different school?
Yeah, you don't know what she looks like, but she goes to their school.
I've only seen Facebook pics.
Yeah, and she sends me really creepy text all day.
Yeah, like the texts were so over the top.
Yeah. I mean, I think even Simon said to Peg, he's like, something along the lines of like, "You're a pretty twisted fellow."
And he owns it.
I think before we stop talking about it, one of the funniest things in the movie is that when they make the fake apps, the next day they go to school trying to act all cool, like, "Oh yeah, who has fake girlfriends? We do."
So again, people will know immediately the fact that they never see them is a huge red flag.
It's like Manti Teo.
I also
Oh,
think that like this would work better if they were actually popular, but the fact that they were like the bottom feeders of their school, like I don't think anyone would pay any attention to them. Like if they were like going on like, oh, we have girlfriends, people are like, who cares?
Well, apparently Bash cares enough.
is Bash secretly like gay for them? I mean, maybe that's why everything makes sense if you think of it like that.
Yeah, he really like obsessed over them a little too much.
Like a very unhealthy amount. Like there's one thing, like I guess you shove them into a locker, but then there's like I gotta make sure like they're miserable every second of their life and they can't
Yeah,
have girlfriends. I'm their only girlfriend.
like why would you throw a party just to like expose their laptop?
And like, don't you have better things to do than like ruin the life of somebody who's already like not content?
Yeah, don't you?
Well,
Don't you like?
in their eyes, like their lives are pretty terrible. Like how much lower can it go?
I guess so.
I guess it's like that episode of Always Sunny where Dee thought she couldn't go any lower, but Bash is gonna make sure that they can go lower.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys prefer this over Expelled. That is just
I told you why I like it more, because I feel like in a group setting, this is more fun to watch.
yeah.
Also, too, like I said, the ending is the saving grace for this one. Like Expelled's ending was just, ugh.
It makes you more angry because he gets like rewarded for being a scumbag, and conveniently the principal's like it's a gambling addiction.
Like
You mean
so
to tell
much
me
happened at.
you mean to tell me it's funny at the end when both Bash and Lily die?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
And then, like I said, the peg. That's evidence, son.
That did get me to laugh.
Any closing thoughts, boys?
I'll never get those like hour and a half from each movie back, Colin. Thank you.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you got it worse. You've seen it multiple times. I've only got to
Uh,
see these once.
I've seen it 3 times, I think.
No, I think I watched Expelled and iGirlfriend. No, wait, I only saw iGirlfriend once. I saw Expelled twice.
Yeah.
So
You saw the other movie, but then you fell asleep at the end. The High
I've never
Schooler's
fallen
Guide.
asleep. Oh, that I like that one the most probably.
Oh God. I think that's all we have to say about those two terrible movies. If you are going to watch them, like we said, watch them with a group. Do not do what I did and watch them alone and then share it with friends.
It's a share in your misery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually more impressive how you sat through both of those movies alone.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I think that's why you like Expelled more. At least can pretend to be a movie.
Yeah, this is just like, or at least iGirlfriend. I don't even know what it is. Because I think maybe iGirlfriend could have been better if they embraced it more and how ridiculous everything is. But it tried to be like too sincere with Simon finding love with his computer app.
Yeah, that's true. Like if the character's more like cartoonish, like Expelled.
Uh, I would just prefer if they didn't make the movie, but
Any of these movies.
maybe they, because of how ridiculous the situation is, they should have just embraced how dumb it is. They didn't really do that. I mean, Simon falls in love with the computer app that came to life. Like, he tried to be sincere with that. I don't know.
Yeah, like Expelled, like I don't know what you're saying, like movie quality, it looked like a at best like a bad Nickelodeon or Disney movie. But like with iGirlfriend, it almost looked like a high school like film project.
It might have been, honestly. It might have been.
I say more like maybe a film school project, but
Yeah, definitely like someone it's a student making this movie. The camera with like how the camera quality was and everything. But the at least like Expelled it at least could pass for like a bad movie in terms of like quality at
like if you're
best.
walking by and you see it on TV, you're not going to see that Expelled as like poor quality, at least at a passing glance. This
Yeah.
this movie, on the other hand, you will notice.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot,
Oh,
Colin.
oh boy. I think that's all of our final thoughts. Girlfriend and Expelled. Don't watch it, but watch it with friends. Don't watch it alone. Watch it with friends.
Be like Felix.
Be like Simon and Peg and make creepy apps. Be like them.
Or be like Felix a minute and then don't have friends, just have everybody you can manipulate.
Don't have friends, have pawns.
If you do go to a high school, make sure you go to one where your principal is siphoning money directly out of the school funds so you can blackmail when needed.
If you do go to high school, stay and you see someone like Peg, stay away from him. He is so
No, no,
creepy.
befriend him. Befriend him.
No, just stay
That
away
way you're
from
safe.
him.
That way you're safe if
No, just he's so creepy.
Wow, I think you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know what you're
Unbiased
saying.
knows what I'm saying.
He's like a sewer rat.
Yeah, if you see a guy like him at your local high school or your Chuck E. Cheese, run the other way.
Or local preschool. All right, it's been the unbiased opinion. Everyone's opinion is biased except ours. I'm Colin.
I'm Craig.
And I'm Daniel.
We'll see you next time. Hopefully, we won't be talking about anything of iGirlfriend and Expelled quality.